Hello and welcome to this TEPSA Explainer. I am Trine Willumsen Berling. I am a senior researcher at the Danish Institute for International Studies in Denmark. I'm also the project leader of the research project Securitech, funded by the Carlsberg Foundation. In Securitech, we research Baltic Sea region energy security. I'll be joined today by Isabella Survivo and Veronika Slakaitite, both from Securitech. Today we focus on what we call the double crisis for the EU energy security. But what is the double crisis? The first issue has to do with the geopolitical situation. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has finally made the EU understand that Russian energy is a form of power, and that Russia has used this power before. In the context of the Ukraine war, energy has even become a weapon, putting Europe in a critical situation. The second leg of the double crisis concerns the climate crisis. The EU has long tried to cut CO2 emissions to avoid the most catastrophic effects of climate change. Unfortunately, Russian natural gas has been a key tool in the toolbox to reach that goal. As a bridge form of energy, natural gas seemed very attractive because of the lower CO2 emissions compared to coal and oil. However, this basically means that when we were trying to deal with the climate crisis, we exacerbated our geopolitical situation. Important differences between Eastern and Western countries in the EU exist. The EU countries warned, with a reference to national historical experiences, that Russian energy was not a normal good that would create peaceful interdependence. It was rather a tool for political influence and pressure. This was brushed off as paranoia and backwardness by many Western European countries. Climate change, however, also represents a cleavage in the European Union. Here, the picture is reversed. For a number of Western European countries, the climate agenda has been considered more important than the energy agenda. So the EU is indeed in a complicated double crisis. There are no quick fixes, and perceptions across the Union diverge. In this brief explainer, we focus on two things: political changes needed and the technological ways out.
As opposed to climate policy, the energy policy area has been a national prerogative in the EU, although a number of policy initiatives aims to address common energy challenges. Initiatives such as projects of common interest strengthened a regional focus on the interconnection of the European energy infrastructure. The establishment of the Energy Union was also a step in the right direction, as it emphasized the need for increased security of energy supply, development of an integrated energy market, and gradual decarbonization of the European economy. In practice, however, with countries deciding on individual projects such as Nord Stream 2, a comprehensive approach to tackling the climate change while increasing geopolitical resilience has been insufficient. Following the war in Ukraine, the shift in EU's energy policy will be costly and challenging due to both the EU's high dependence on Russian fossil fuels and the ambitious European Green Deal agenda. The policy changes will come in the form of diversification of energy sources away from Russia and accelerating the EU's energy transition. The REPowerEU plan from March this year is an important first step, as it aims to cut the import of Russian gas by 2/3 by the end of the year. Following the coal and oil embargo, political commitment to phasing out Europe's dependency on Russian gas is needed. It is also key to accelerate the implementation of the Fit for 55 package. The package aims to increase investment in energy technologies, lower energy demand, and focus on further electrification and interconnectedness of critical energy infrastructure. Development of alternative energy technologies is particularly important for the Baltic Sea region.
One of the energy sources with the greatest potential for replacing fossil fuels is arguably nuclear energy. Recently, it has also been classified as green in the EU's taxonomy. In the Baltic Sea region, the overall trend is to further develop nuclear energy, and countries such as Poland, Estonia, and Finland are planning to boost nuclear energy share in the future. Now, speaking of gas, Gazprom's continuous grip over infrastructure and supply has prompted diversification of supply routes, most notably in the post-Soviet space. Countries such as Lithuania and Poland have opened liquefied natural gas terminals in 2014 and 2016 respectively. And more LNG projects have been on the agenda even prior to war in Ukraine, in countries such as Finland, Latvia, and Poland. After the invasion, Germany has also joined the trend and announced construction of 2 LNG terminals ASAP. On the European level, better interconnectedness of gas infrastructure is still needed. In the Baltic Sea region, 2022 marks opening of 2 major gas projects, GIPL that connects Lithuanian and Polish gas infrastructure, as well as the Baltic Pipe that enables Poland to access Norwegian gas through Denmark. With several other projects completed beforehand, like the Baltic Connector between Finland and Estonia, as well as multiple other projects envisioned to be completed in the near future, the Baltic Sea region has been gradually breaking away from the overdependence on Russian fossil fuels by creating regional gas and LNG markets. When it comes to wind energy, the overall trend in the Baltic Sea region is to scale up through mega projects. In 2020, the EU announced ambitious plans for further development of offshore renewable energy technologies, with a 5-fold increase in offshore wind capacity planned by 2030, as well as a 25-fold increase by 2050. Many large-scale offshore wind projects are currently being developed in countries like Estonia, Latvia, Poland, and Lithuania, among others. Among the most ambitious mega projects are the Danish energy islands, at a staggering cost of 28 billion euros. The first artificially constructed energy island will be located in the North Sea, and it will serve as a hub for 200 offshore wind turbines and provide energy for 10 million households. The development of further islands is also envisioned in the Baltic Sea area. And in the long run, these energy hubs will operate under Power-to-X technology. It enables green hydrogen production by using surplus electricity generated by wind that is not possible to store otherwise.
What to make of this? Well, to conclude, we would like to offer 3 recommendations. First, focus on aligning Eastern and Western European policy perspectives and working towards a common energy policy approach at the regional and the EU level. 2, improve coordination and invest in new energy technology and infrastructure. And finally, 3, set common goals on energy efficiency to tackle the energy demand as well as the energy supply side. Only then can we hope to overcome the double crisis.